You being nosy? Good evening, good night, good morning. It's 4 in the morning. Jules and I were sleeping and I heard somebody pull on one of my door handles. She was like grunting. She's either really drunk or really high. That's the second time someone has attempted to open my door while I'm asleep. The first time were police officers checking on my van, and the second time was this girl like literally trying to break in. But I tell you what, that door handle noise when you're sleeping is the same as a cat dry heaving about to puke. Like, you pop up, and you are wide awake. Anyway, so I heard it. Jules and I, like, both of us, like, popped up out of bed. And then I looked out my window, and she was stumbling away from my van. And then she stumbled to the car 2 cars away. Tried pulling on that handle. Then she stumbled to the car just in front of us. Tried pulling on that handle. I called the police. Hold on, I'm so thirsty. Why did I wake up so dehydrated? Called the police, and they talked to her for like 20 minutes. I couldn't hear because they were like behind the bushes over here. But anyway, after 20 minutes, the police left and I don't see her anymore, so they probably just sent her on her way. I'm pretty sure she doesn't live here. But yeah, so exciting perils of van life. And here I am with my bug zapper, filming for you YouTube watchers out there. Thank you. I know my life is this interesting that I have to film at 4 a.m. when my van almost gets broken into. I know you enjoy it. Is it weird? Yeah. Is it weird to film at 4 a.m. on a whim? Yeah. But I'm doing it for you because I love you guys. Cheers. After a marathon of dates last year, I ran out of steam and I took a break. Particularly after I was sent home in an Uber for my outfit by a guy I was dating. Yeah, if you haven't heard of that story, search girl gets sent home in Uber for outfit. Anyway, I just went on my first date after a 6-month break. We spent 7 hours together and we were both entirely blown away by each other. We shared a deep, genuine connection that was founded in parallel aspirations and how we wanted to shape our futures and what they would look like with romantic partners. The connection extended emotionally, physically, and psychologically. It was fate. How could luck strike me in such a way where I would find someone with the exact same desires for life, love, and happiness? There was one glitch, though. He was uncomfortable that I wasn't sharing my social media with him. I felt it was too soon. We had only been on a few dates in the 1 week we were together. There are 2 reasons I don't share my social media with dates. The first one is for my safety. I haven't dealt with any stalker situations yet, but I've followed enough content creators to learn from them. I realized that it was not emotionally or physically safe for me to pour my heart and soul out too soon to so many people I was only going on a few dates with. The second reason is because I want them to get to know the real me, not the social media me. There's a delicate balance of presenting your life on social media, but also trying to maintain some sort of privacy. I call it only showing the tip of the iceberg, the wild, fun, energetic moments, sometimes sharing the sad moments and never sharing the boring moments. People think they know me, but they really only see the highlights and some lowlights. They don't see the days where I lie in bed all day watching TV and eating until I can't move. I could go on and on with this self-deprecation, but I'm just going to stop right here. Again, tip of the iceberg. I've also noticed the way people's eyes light up when I tell them about my social media. I don't want people to fall in love with the idea of me, a character of me, or my status. He had a general aversion to social media to begin with and was getting increasingly uncomfortable with me not sharing mine. Sparing the nitty-gritty details, he ended it, and I was heartbroken. I have dreaded this moment in my dating life, one where a guy I really like doesn't want anything to do with someone who openly posts their life online. I'm very introverted in person, and I'm naturally attracted to introverted men. I can understand how it would seem like a paradox that I openly post my life online. He was the only guy who ever had an issue with me keeping my social media private. I guess in the future, I'll have to analyze the best timeline for sharing it while building the foundation of a relationship. One day, I will figure it out. Before I make my big announcement, I want to thank Skillshare for sponsoring this video. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of online classes and a plethora of different subjects. With a user-friendly interface, you can search any subject that you have an interest in exploring, from knitting to personal finance, gardening, and beyond. You can watch these videos straight from your search, or you can save them for later. Skillshare is offering 1 month free to anyone who uses my link to join. Before I edited this video, I watched Lily Singh's video titled Social Media Success, Video Storytelling on YouTube and Beyond. I want to become more versed in how to create more entertaining videos for you all to enjoy. I'm really proud of this video, and I hope you see the hard work I put into it with the help from Lily's class. I'm looking for a daily routine and to learn new skills, and I know that Skillshare is the perfect option for me to fulfill both of these goals. Stay tuned to watch me become the jack of all trades. Wherever you go, there you are. Those are the words of Jon Kabat-Zinn. I didn't understand the meaning of this phrase until I started van life. I identify with this phrase in relation to my mental health. Changing my environment to the van life dream I wanted for years did not magically dispel my perpetual sadness and poor mental health. It didn't matter whether I was sitting on my couch or lying on a beach, my mental health hadn't changed. 2020 brought on so many struggles for everyone around the world. I was no exception. I poured my time and energy into working every single day delivering groceries to people who couldn't go out on their own. I was masking a multitude of negative feelings by diverting my energy and attention into work. After working 90 days straight without a day off, I finally took a break. It was then I came face to face with my poor mental health that I couldn't see when I was working. Some days I was staying awake until 9 a.m. and waking up at 5 p.m., wasting away the days glued to my phone. I amped up my therapy appointments. I was lacking the motivation and ambition to do anything. I said that once I got into my van, everything would change. I'd be granted the motivation and ambition that I had been lacking for so long. Read books, perfect Spanish, learn to draw and paint, exercise more, eat healthier. My mental health would suddenly go back to baseline, and I would have all the time and energy in the world to work on my self-growth. Surprise, surprise, nothing changed. When my van was functionally finished, I stalled and procrastinated getting on the road. I was paralyzed with fear of not knowing what in the world I was doing. I began second-guessing everything. There came a point where I simply couldn't stand to be in Southeast Michigan any longer, and I finally made the move. I quickly eased into comfort in a few days, and living in a van suddenly became normal. I had planned to do it for at least 1 year. After 1 year, I would reassess and decide if I wanted to move back into my condo or continue my van life journey. However, after only a few months on the road, I felt like time was moving very quickly. I made the decision shortly after taking off that I would do at least another year in my van. My decision was solidified due to the aforementioned reasons of not accomplishing enough. I have not explored, learned, or discovered nearly as much life as I wanted to. When I came back to Michigan in April because I ran out of money, it felt like I had never left. I was only gone for 8 months, but it felt like 2. I didn't want to be here for long, though. I had only wanted to stay for a couple of months. However, the lease for my tenants was up after 3 months, so I decided to stay for 3 months. 4 months later, I am still here. I am once again paralyzed with fear. My finances are back in order, but getting on the road without a steady income and feeling like I might have to come back to Michigan in a blink of an eye again is weighing on my mind. As I approach my 1-year anniversary of living in a van, I've had a lot of time to reflect on what this past year has meant to me. I didn't accomplish nearly as much as I wanted to, and I didn't visit nearly as many places as I had planned. Much of it had to do with my lack of finances. The lack of income I had on the road wasn't enough to fund all the plans and desires I had envisioned. This led me to my big decision. So what's the big announcement, you ask? I know the first 2 chapters of this story were clickbaity. An intruder? No. An attempted intruder. A breakup? No. A splitting of paths between 2 would-be lovers. But a big announcement? Yes, a big announcement. I put my condo up for rent in May, and in a week, I found a new tenant for July. But instead of signing a 1-year lease, I signed a 2-year lease. Yep, that's right. I'll be on the road for at least 2 more years. I've started making money with YouTube ad revenue. I made $85 in the month of June and $38 in the month of July. Considering I only posted 1 video in late June and none in July, I would say that's really decent. There is clearly a tremendous amount of potential to change my future with my new stream of income and from the exposure I've been getting since starting my channel. I just need to get past that fear that's keeping me back from traveling again and going full force at my YouTube. With all your support, I know I can make that happen. So here's to a new chapter. Jules and I made one last trip to the laundry room together. He loves going to the laundry room with me. He started following me down to the laundry room in my old apartment and continued doing it when we moved into my condo. Last year, I came across a random dance video on TikTok. I then saw that dancer in the video was from Traverse City, Michigan. I messaged him that I was in the area and I wanted to dance. He gave me an address to a pavilion in the middle of the woods behind a fire station at 10:30 p.m. at night and told me to meet him and his friend there. There were only 2 outcomes, murder or dance. It was the latter, and we danced all night. His friend and I became very good friends, and he came to visit me when I was flipping my condo for my new tenant. And we talked from sun up until sundown. And then we danced all night. As my first year comes to a close and I begin the next 2 years, I'm making a promise to myself. Experience more, dance often, start journaling, film everything, and don't let fear of the unknown hold me back.